now I have sound. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I forgot to unmute myself. Is this better now? I think you can probably hear me now. I'm so sorry. I was saying I had technical like some things come up last minute, so I guess I forgot to unmute myself as well. So it's gonna be one of those days. I was saying that welcome to the stream, everybody. My name is Axel from Good Speaking English. Hello, Sword. Hello, Art Graphic Design. Stephen, welcome. And good luck on your exam that you have the day after tomorrow. Sword, I hope it goes well for you. Yeah, hopefully it goes well for you. Is it an English exam, or what kind of exam are you taking? What kind of exam are you sitting? We sit an exam. Anyways, like I was saying, we are going to be working on this crossword. Like the little video said, I am going to basically lead the conversation. I'm going to let you know which question we're going to work on when. I'm going to give you lots of additional little tips and clues and information, sometimes pictures, definitions, all that jazz to help you figure out the answer along with me. And then if you think you know what an answer is, put it in the chat. And once I see it in the chat, I will put it on the board and we will complete the answers, or we will complete the crossword together that way. So I am live right now on Facebook, on Twitch, and YouTube. But if you want to play, the best place to play is on YouTube. So I highly recommend hopping over to YouTube if you would actually like to participate. If you just want to watch, you can watch on Twitch or Facebook as well. But it's a little, I get the answers a little slower on those platforms, but YouTube is a place to be right now. Becoming a doctor. That's interesting then. Fantastic that you're studying. There's a lot of exams, I would imagine, in order to become a doctor. Like, you have to do so much school, right? So, interesting. Fantastic. I hope it goes really well for you. Best of luck, for sure. Okay, yeah, so just a reminder, too, that we are going to do this together. So, please stay along with me. Stay with me. I will try to remember to call out which question we're working on when, but don't skip ahead. Don't start throwing out answers to things we haven't discussed. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it, and if it becomes excessive, I may have to potentially sort of prevent people from posting for a little bit. But let's stay together so we are all on the same page. So we are all working together collectively to get this done. And hopefully that will help everybody have a really good time. So I did look at this crossword before I hopped on here. I found it a little tricky. And then I was gonna do an easier one, but you know, sometimes it's fun to do kind of tricky ones. So maybe it was tricky for me, like, because usually I can do these really, really fast, and it wasn't as quick as usual for me. Yeah, so let's see if we can do it. And we're not going to start with this one, actually, because I don't even know what this is. But let's do this here. Let's start with this. We're going to start with 4 down. 4 down. We're looking for the name of a relay section. What the heck is a relay? A relay is a race. It's a type of race that's usually done with multiple people. Like, there's basically a team, right? Like multiple teams, where each person gets to do part of the race or the course. All right, so everybody takes turns basically doing, like, somebody does the first section, somebody does the second section, somebody else might do the third section. So we're looking for the name of whatever the heck that might be. And leg, exactly. Each of those sections are called a leg. So let's pop that in here, put that in here. Perfect, perfect. Oh, what else do we got here? School paper. School paper. So paper here being something that you would write actually here. Sometimes you might hear people refer to a paper. I mean, paper is usually like literally the stuff that you write on, but we could also use it to refer to like a piece of writing. Usually like maybe like a report or something you do for school, for example, some sort of assignment, a class assignment. If you get an assignment, that's something you are assigned to do, given to do some work. So we're looking for sort of a classic thing, 5 down, some sort of paper, very common paper you might write, thing you may write in school. Usually this thing talks about maybe your opinion about something. So we typically write these things. You would give an opinion about something, or you maybe would evaluate something, or maybe discuss like, you know, what somebody meant about something, but usually like an opinion, as opposed as like a difference to from like a report or something that might be all factual. This is a little bit more about your opinion. And an essay, exactly. I think we're going to be writing an essay. Also a very common thing that you may need to write on an exam as well, like an English exam. There's usually an essay component or something where you have to maybe evaluate some things, give an opinion, that sort of thing. Support your opinions with like facts, all sorts of stuff. Okay. And I'm just thinking here. Pulls a log. Pulls a log. So pull is like that that motion of maybe like having something behind you that's attached to you, and you sort of bring it along with you from behind, for example. Or you could also maybe like, you know, you're kind of like forcefully pulling something towards you. So 13 across. Dun, 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 dun. GS. Basically looking for kind of another word for pulls, but here a little bit more like almost like you're like pulling it along the ground here or something, like here. Or maybe some sort of like other surface or something, you know. So there's like a little bit of friction there, basically. Yeah, to move something by pulling it along the surface, usually over the ground. So there's like a little bit of friction there, something like that. So drags, exactly. We're gonna drag something typically across the floor. Used for drag queen. We have drag queen as well too. Exactly. For men who like to dress up as women, typically to perform and things like that. Like so we have that as well too. Another use for the word drag as well, actually, for when you take like a puff of a cigarette. So as well too, you would take a drag of a cigarette. So that's another way that we would use that word as well too. But here, obviously, it's going to be a noun, right? And like you said, to a drag queen. Yeah, so we see that word kind of in a couple different places, or a couple different uses. Anyways, yeah, exactly. Take a drag of a cigarette, take a drag of a smoke. People will call a cigarette a smoke as well, or at least here, a smoke. All right. What else do we have here? So Icarus, I don't think I said that right. To this guy, I'm not even gonna try. Oh, let's do this one. Convict's hope. So a convict, different. You notice the pronunciation here. I said convict with the syllable stress on the first half. convict, right? As opposed to convict. Here, syllable on the second half. This is a verb. Whereas this is a noun. A convict is someone who did a crime. Someone who was convicted of a crime, as in somebody, if you convict somebody, you basically say that they did a crime. Basically, something like that. But yeah, here, so a convict, a criminal, going to be, you know, typically in prison, maybe. Prison, maybe, or in jail, and they're hoping to maybe get out on good behavior, right? So we're looking for, like, whatever that is, basically. So a period, or when you know, someone convicted of a crime is allowed to basically leave prison early, basically. Maybe they get out on good behavior. So when they're able to leave early. And parole, exactly, parole. It's gonna be our thing here. You get out on parole. To get out on parole. Oops. Exactly. So parole is gonna be our answer here. All right. So we got that. This is a weird one. Oh, I remember what this doesn't even make sense. Let's do this one, maybe. Because the other day we knew the word Glen. There was the word Glen. Here's another valley word. Sort of for like a kind of a secluded little... Is it kind of secluded? Kind of like a place with like a lot of hills and stuff like that. I think these are common more like in England. We don't really talk about these things here over in Canada, but basically like another valleys. Sort of like in, I think, northern England, let's say, something like that, maybe. But another valley word. I always think about these as being sort of in the middle of the forest or something, sort of surrounded by trees and stuff like that. But basically, I don't know what makes like these. So this is a valley, especially an open, gentle sloping ground between low hills and a stream flowing through it, most frequently used in the north of England and the southern uplands of Scotland. So, yeah. So, something like that. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Looking for whatever this is. A dale. Exactly. Dale. It's funny. I thought that maybe glens are more like in the middle of a forest. We don't really talk about them here. I'm in Canada, so. But yeah, northern England, the little valley. See if I can't get a picture of a dale, so we all know. Since we're all learning here, I guess I'm learning something new as well. We don't really have mountains where I am. I'm on the wrong part of Canada. There you go. Some dales. Looks nice. All right. Yeah. It's good to see you, Jacqueline. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope the weather is there too. It is different between dales and hills or not. So there is a difference. Yeah, so a hill is just any. A hill can be, you know, a big sort of mountain thing. A hill can be small. You know, it can be large or small. The thing that makes a dale is that, I don't know if I can. The thing is that a dale is a, let's see if I can get it to come up here. There we go. Is that a dale is specifically a valley. So a valley will happen between, you know, two hills or two mountains or whatever. But here, two kind of like steepish hills. Whereas a hill, like, can just be, like, you can have, like, it can just be on its own, for example. Small and on its own, whereas a dale refers to the little valley, or dale is a little valley between, you know, two mountains or two hills. And it says too that there's typically, usually like a little stream or something that goes between it. So maybe like, I don't think we can see here, but a stream. A stream is basically a small river, basically, that would run between them. So I hope that is kind of a little bit clearer, maybe, the difference there. All right, anyways, let's go back, see what else we got here. Jacqueline, you are a trivia person. How about this one? This Icarus to Daedalus. I know I didn't say that right. 15 across. I know what this is, but I think I know what this is, just like as an educated guess. But if you happen to know what the relationship is between these two people, who this person is in relation to this person, we'll put it in here, 15 across. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna... A sun! Okay, cool, I thought that you might know. Yeah, exactly, the sun, yes. So, perfect, okay. Egg holder, something, a place where you might find some eggs. This is a thing, egg holder. This is a thing that a bird would build. So egg holder, 21 across, a thing that a bird would build, to hold their eggs. Kind of a little funny, so looking for that. And then I'm also going to share with you what we would think as an egg holder as well. The usual meaning of an egg holder. But here's a little bit of a pun. Thing that a bird will build to hold their eggs, raise their chicks. A chick is a baby. Bird, basically a nest, exactly. Welcome, Aziz. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Thanks for contributing. Really appreciate it. I love when people play. It makes me so happy. I was gonna say what an actual egg holder is, like what we would think of an egg holder, is one of these. This is an egg holder. This little cup thing. So, or an egg cup or an egg holder. When I hear the word egg holder, this is what I think of. I don't think of a nest, but yeah. So that's what it is. Annexes. So verb here. And this here is a this is a phrasal verb. So that's what's happening here. But basically, if you annex something, maybe you annex a piece of land. If you annex a piece of land, for example, you basically take it and say it is part, say it becomes your land, if that makes sense. So we're basically taking something from something else and we are including it in whatever we have. So looking for something sort of a similar, the phrasal verb that sort of expresses the same idea. Adds on, exactly. We're going to take that land, we're going to add it onto our own land, basically. I was going to put that in here. Adds on. And, oh, did I do that wrong? Anyways. Adds on. Alright, cool. Cool. Let's see what else we can get here. Just give me a second. Ah, spigot! Spigot. The heck is a spigot? Spigot is a thing that you use to get water with, usually. Something you use to get water. It is part of the faucet. You know what a faucet, because answer. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna get a faucet. Not quite like a, maybe like a faucet, more like a hose or something like that. Or like an old-fashioned faucet, actually. Here is a spigot. It's kind of like a faucet. Faucets are usually a little bit different. Here we go, though. This is a spigot. Spigot's got this little thing that you turn and then you would let the water come out. So here we go. So basically looking for, yeah, like another word, another way that we could refer to this. As well, too, we might refer to it for the faucet as well. A tap, exactly. This is going to be a tap. So we can refer to this as a tap. We could also refer to the faucet as a tap as well. I'm going to get a picture of a faucet just so we're all on the same page as to what that is. The faucet is more like the thing you would find in the bathroom, for example, or in the kitchen. So here is a faucet. And all of those things we can refer to as taps. Exactly. So put some tap in here. Don't know what that is. But aspirations. So aspirations. So we have an S here. Obviously, our answer is going to be a plural. If you aspire to something, if you aspire to do something, you can see the word like aspire in here almost. To something, you aspire to something. It means basically you wish to do something. So we're kind of looking for a similar word here. Those wishes, basically wishes or things you hope will happen in the future. 28 across. 28 across. Hopes. Exactly. So hopes is going to be our aspirations. We might say that you have high hopes. That would be a nice little collocation. You have high hopes about something. We might also say that you have a big aspirations about something. So some collocations there for you as well. We wouldn't say high aspirations usually, but maybe big aspirations. And you would have high hopes, we might say. So let's put there. Oh, another collocation that comes to my mind as well too is, it's kind of related, is lofty ambitions. An ambition, if you're ambitious, you want to do really amazing things, right? But something lofty might be too high too high and unattainable. So not really possible. They're not realistic. Anyways. Alright, what else do we got here? So we got Diamond Club. Enmity. Use the tub. Use the tub. Use the tub and Diamond Club. Right. Oh, maybe let's maybe let's do this one. No, that's not. Yeah, maybe. This is a baseball reference. 33 across is a baseball reference. Because that thing, when you play baseball, is a diamond. They call it a baseball diamond. So here is a baseball diamond. And a club, basically another word for something you would hit something with. Like a big stick. So we're looking for the name of the big stick you use to play baseball with. 33 across, the name of the stick you use to play baseball with. So 33, so not run. We're looking for a verb, not a verb here. We're looking for a noun here. The name of the big stick you use to play baseball with. It's gonna be a bat. Exactly. We're gonna play bat. We're gonna play baseball with a bat. That is going to be our club. So let's pop that in here. Got that in here. And now we have a little bit more information. I think we should be able to get this one pretty easily using the tub. The tub is also a place, is a thing. A tub is a thing you find in the, is a fixture you find in a bathroom. I'm using the word fixture because a fixture, similar to like the tap and the faucet and stuff like that, those are things that are kind of permanently installed in the house, hard to remove, hard to change. So this is another classic sort of fixture that you find in the bathroom that would hold water. That holds water, right? And then we're looking for a verb. Basically, a verb that says that you are using the tub. A verb that describes what you might do in the tub, for example. And I'm gonna get a picture of the tub just so we are all on the same page. But here we go. Here is a classic picture of the tub in the bathroom. So verb here, we're gonna bathe. Exactly, bathe. And notice the pronunciation there. So we've got like that TH. It is a voiced TH. Bathe. Voiced TH. As opposed to the noun, the bath tub, or we might say to take a bath. The unvoiced TH. So that's kind of interesting. So this pronunciation changes a little bit. Similar to words like to breathe versus a breath. There's other ones too. They're not coming to my mind right now. But yeah. So that tricky sound there. Anyways, exactly. So we're gonna bathe in the tub. Bathe in the tub. Alright, let's see here. Ordeal. Periphery! Periphery. The periphery kind of refers to the surroundings, the thing around something. Refers to the, to something's surroundings, kind of. Basically, the things all around. Oh, I don't know if we have enough information about this. Maybe. Looking for another word. I'm gonna give you a hint. There's an S in here, because I don't think this S is obvious. But basically another word, basically for sort of like the outside sort of region that maybe surrounds something. So the very far sort of like corners of something. The very far sort of it's hard to say it without saying the right answer. The very far, maybe the corners that surround something, the periphery of something. Yes. So sort of the very far. I'm trying to think of how I can like describe this. Like for example, let me see this here. Oh, here we go. So say we had like something here. It might be sort of like this area here. We're talking about like this outer area. The edges of something, exactly. The edges of something. So let's put that in here. If I can get my thing back. There we go. The edges of something, because the periphery is the outer edge of an area, so that you can just kind of like barely perceive. Alright, so let's do that. This, I think this one will be easy. Track event. Something that happens on a track, so maybe a track where runners, for example, or maybe cars will use. So, so basically a paved area used by, you know, runners or cars to sort of like have competitions about who is the fastest, basically. So we're looking for the name of that event. Which would take place on a track. I guess I'll get a picture of what I mean. I thought it's gonna be a race, exactly. And here's a track, at least for, you know, running around a sports field, for example. But a race track. Exactly. Alright. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Try and that is This one, ethane. Ethane. It is a type of something. It is the type of, I want to say it's a fossil fuel, but I don't think so. It's natural, isn't it? I could be wrong. No. Anyways, ethane is a... Yeah, okay, so it is a fossil fuel. Ethane is a fossil fuel. It is. A type of fossil fuel. So we're basically looking for, like, what it is, kind of. Like, what it is. Exactly. Gas. It's a type of gas, right? Similar to, you know, natural gas, petroleum, that sort of thing. Type of gas. Alright. Anyways. Anyways. Bad description. Anyways, it's a type of gas. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, let's do birdie beater. We're gonna leave that one to the end. Draw in. Draw in. If something draws you in, to draw something in means to, like, maybe, like, pull something towards you. Because, you're very appealing. Let's say A something something, R something something something. So we're looking for, like, a similar verb about, drawing things, about pulling things towards other things because it's very appealing, or there's something nice about it, kind of. And this is going to be a verb, basically, to convince something, or to cause something to come closer to something else because the thing is very nice or appealing, or for whatever reason attracts. Yes, exactly. Attracts is going to be our answer here. Perfect. Or just, I think just subtract. Exactly. Attract. Yeah, there we go. You know what? I don't know this word, but it's basically this, but the answer here though, it's like that state of just really strongly disliking something, like to the point of where you just can't stand them at all, basically. So enmity, very strong feeling of dislike towards something. So so we're looking for another word, the noun form. The verb, I think we'll all know the verb, but we're looking for the noun verb, so the noun form of that that describes that feeling of just strong dislike, where you just detest someone. You know, loathing. Another word, right? Just like that strong dislike towards something. 28 down. Super strong. Hatred. Exactly. Hatred. Hatred. You know, to hate someone, that's going to be the verb, and then hatred, the noun form that describes that state of utter, like, you know, distaste you have towards somebody. Loathing. Exactly. All right. I think we could get this one now that we have a little bit more information. Just looking for a synonym for therefore to say, you know, because something is one thing, and then because of that, something else must be true or something else must happen, for example. So, H-E something, C something. So, 43 across here, basically a synonym for therefore. And I'm going to basically saying that something happens for another reason, right? Basically. So, you know, we were unable to get funding and therefore had to abandon the project, and hence we had to abandon the project. Exactly. So, there we go. So we were unable to get funding and hence had to abandon the project. Exactly. I don't like this clue. I don't like this clue at all. Oh, let's see if we can get this one though, maybe. Because we have a lot of info here. Now, aircraft tracking hobby. I had a friend who liked to do this. They would go to the airport and they would like hang out. They would go to the airport, they would hang out, and they would watch the planes take off, land, and gee. And we kind of have a name for that activity. A name that we have for that activity of tracking planes as they come and go. Maybe you have a guess as to what this is. The first word refers to what we are tracking. The second word has to do with seeing. A verb about seeing something. About like identifying it and seeing it. Plane spotting. Exactly. Plane spotting. Yes, so my friend would go to the airport and they would go plane spotting. Here, a lot of people are kind of into train spotting as well, looking for cool ones. We have a lot of, not so much here, but some places in Canada have a lot of trains. Anyways, I'm just gonna put this in here because we're not gonna get this. And I hate this, like 40 across. I don't like this, this clue. I mean, I guess so. If something is really, like, if a situation is incredibly difficult and it's like, it feels like it's testing you, we might refer to it as this noun. So sort of like a situation that is extremely difficult and sort of tests your patience, maybe. Let's say something like that. But usually this is more like we would use this word more like for a court or things like that. Yeah. Or maybe a test as well. So this word is more often used for, you know, courts where people get together. And maybe they discuss a case, or also just like a test, right? To see if something works. But a trial, exactly. Trial is going to be our word here. Yeah. A person or thing that is annoying or causes a lot of problems. See, I would never use that. And anyways, moving on. Moving on. Arthur, insulting, not sure. Mixes up. I think this is like a almost like a for cooking or something like that. This is like a food thing. Because you could mix something up. To mix something up could mean to confuse something with something else, right? Or maybe like you can mix up details and things like that. So make mistakes that way. But we could also just mix something up. And so like take many components and sort of make sure that they are all equally distributed among one another. So to mix something up, to combine one or more things together to make sure the things are equally distributed among one another. So we're looking for that kind of word. Sort of a verb that describes this mixing action, basically. Stirs, exactly, stirs. I think stirs is going to be our answer. There you go. Stirs. So we got a rocker. Fiction. Oh no. So trivia, Homer work. So a work here, we're referring to a work, maybe like a work of art. We're referring here to a work of writing here, actually. Can refer to maybe like an important piece of art or music or writing, for example. Looking for the name of a very famous text written by Homer. So we have some, you have an idea? A trivia idea? We can do that one. 41 across, I'm sure you will know it. So, the name of our text, so we can get that one, that'll be really helpful. So if you think you might happen to know what that one is, put it in the chat. Famous written by Homer. And then we also have the washer cycle. Washer cycle. So washer basically being the thing that you might wash your clothes in. And the washing machine goes through various what we call cycles. It goes through various cycles or stages. So between, you know, there's like the soap part, the cleaning, and then there is like this phase where the water is basically removed, or all the soap, I should say, the soap is removed from the clothes, basically. Wait for that one. Yeah, this one is Iliad. This is the Iliad, so let's put that in here. Because that's useful. So we got the Iliad. Thank you. Got that there. And we're looking for the name of this phase here. This phase, this stage of the cycle where we're going to remove all like this The soaps, all of the soap suds from the clothes. I'm not sure what the soap suds are. I'm gonna get a picture. It's gonna be our rinse cycle, exactly. And the soap suds. These are soap suds. The little bubbles, basically. All the little bubbles. Rinse cycle! Let's pop that in here. Oh, I get what this is. Can we see this? Yes, we can see this. Fiction! I mean, kind of fiction. Something fiction is made up. Something fiction is made up. So 42 down. Another word for something that's made up. Maybe like a made up story, for example, right? Fiction. A made up story that is false, right? So, L-I something. Another name for a type of false story. Let's say. The name for a type false story. 42 down. 42 down. False story, or maybe something you would say to somebody else. Really, something you say to someone else. That is not true. A lie. Exactly. A lie. Exactly. I got lie here. And this is Seeger. But let's stay with the group because that makes me happy. Let's stay with me. So this doesn't devolve into chaos. That means that everything kind of suddenly goes bad. If something devolves, it gets worse. So I like order. I like order and structure. So stay with me, please. What else do we got here? Comfortable. Bank at times. Okay, maybe let's do this one. Bank at times, we might refer to them, because they're the place where, I mean, the bank is a place where you get money, or just say you get money. You don't just like magically get money from the bank, but you would store your money there, potentially. Keep your money at the bank, right? But sometimes you might also ask the bank. You might also ask the bank to get some money for a brief period of time, or not a brief period of time, but for a period of time, you would have to pay it back at the end, right? So we're looking for like a name, the name of a person that might give you money for a bit that you would have to pay back. The name of someone or something that will give you money that you need to pay back later. I think we were looking for that sort of thing. So someone or something that will give you money that you need to pay back later. So 32, that's gonna be lender. A lender, exactly. So lender. We could kind of see like the word like to lend money or to loan, to lend something to someone. Basically to give something to someone for a period of time. Time under the agreement that you'll get the thing back. Eventually. Or at a specific time. Anyways, yes, lender. So lenders are people who give you money temporarily or something. Awesome. And let's do this one now. Genuine. Genuine or genuine, depending on how you want to pronounce that. Genuine or genuine. Something genuine. Genuine, that's something that's true, right? So we're looking for basically just like another synonym. So 30 across. Something that is true. Basically. Genuine. So the opposite of a lie. The opposite of something false, basically. That is true. Something that exists, maybe. That exists. Yeah, let's not make fun of other people. I'm like not gonna tolerate that. So let's just be supportive, and it doesn't matter. I make all sorts of mistakes doing this crossword. Like, are you kidding me? Like, so let's cut that out. So let's see here. Something rank. Comfortable. If we are comfortable with something, this is a phrase here. Something A-S-E. If we were really comfortable at something, we're looking like for a phrase. Yeah, that indicates obviously that we're comfortable. Basically the opposite of being uncomfortable, feeling kind of like, maybe in pain or something like that. So 31 down, 31 down. A phrase for maybe if you're like relaxed, to be relaxed, or in a relaxed state. Be relaxed, comfortable. Be relaxed and comfortable. The first word is like a preposition. First part is a preposition. Second part kind of I don't know if I have a kind of something is not difficult, basically. At ease, exactly. At ease. Put that in here. And finished off. We would use finish off if it comes to consuming food here. 36 across. 36 across. Could spell. So if we finish off something, we might often use that for food, right? You finish all of the food, basically, that's available, or maybe on your plate or whatever. So basically just looking for another word about that. And again, like the past form, maybe past form, past participle. Something to do about food. Not having any food left. 36 across. 36 across. I'm gonna pop this in here. This is gonna be 8. 8 something. Finished it off. Alright. Let's go back up here. So we're doing pretty good. I think we're making pretty good time. Oh, let's do this one. Goo. Goo sort of refers to this like sticky, like a sticky kind of wet substance, not like, it's kind of like viscous. So goo is a sticky substance, not quite you know, water, but also not solid as well. So we're looking for some sort of the name of some sort of goo, the black stuff basically. The name of the black stuff they use on roofs. The name of the black stuff that they use basically to seal down the shingles, to seal the shingles to the roof of the building. So there is this black stuff. They also use this as well too when they are paving roads as well. The black sticky stuff. Just trying to get a picture here of what I'm talking about. Really kind of like smelly and gross. And like this stuff here, this is gonna be tar, exactly. So tar. So let's pop that in here. Pop that in here. Pretentious. Puppy cry. This person. This one. Fizzy drinks. Fizzy drinks. Fizzy is kind of a texture. Kind of a... you have something in your mouth and it kind of like has a bit of a feeling. Carbonated, a carbonated drink basically. A fizzy drink is a carbonated drink. Where it kind of has like the bubbles in it, right? So it has bubbles in it. So looking for a name, another name for those kind of drinks, those carbonated beverages, those fizzy ones. Yeah, carbonated drinks. Kind of like a catch-all word, sort of. I know this is a different. This is like one specific one that we're looking for. One specific type. It starts with a C. I gotta put a C in here to help you guys out. Looking for a type of carbonated drink. It's kind of has like a dark color. It's a very dark color, typically. So kind of dark color. I'm gonna put an S in here as well. So put that in here. So you think you know what it is? Put it in the chat. I think I one of these things. Colas, exactly. And we are gonna stay with the drink, or we're gonna stay with me actually. Colas, we are going to put it here. Carbonated drinks. So So I will put you on a timeout if you are not sticking with me. And also too, if we're gonna make fun of other people as well. I have no tolerance for, I have very little bit of tolerance for things. Especially when I'm a volunteer, when I am doing things for free. So, super no tolerance. A red ink amount. This has to do with, oops, 7 down. 7 down. Can we see it? We can see it, okay. 7 down. Basically, you know, if you were recording your expenses and things like that, you might use, you might say that anything in black, something that you earn, right? So something like money that you make, for example. And then we would use red ink to basically refer to when you don't make money. So we're kind of basically looking for, you know, something, you know, we're looking for a noun that basically indicates that you did not make money at all. In fact, maybe you even owe money or something like that, right? But we might say that that, you know, the opposite of basically the opposite of a gain, basically, if we're thinking about money, right? Basically the opposite of a gain. Right, so the opposite of a gain, basically, if that helps. So I'm not gonna be poor, not gonna be poor. You might be poor if you were in debt, for sure, for sure. But here more like, you know, maybe you, if you invested in something, maybe you invested in something and then like you lose your money, it's gonna be a loss. Exactly, a loss. Thank you so much, Rocky. Rakishi, thanks so much. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. So let's put that in here. Loss indicates that you did not make money. The opposite of a gain, yeah, there's going to be your loss. So you would indicate your losses, typically, in red. So let's pop that in here. Let's see what else we can do here. So I feel like there's, this quadrant, I think, is getting a little bit tricky. Useful skill. Let's do maybe this one. Do that, or like this one. Maybe the pay stub line. The pay stub is a thing that you get after working, right? The pay stub. A thing you get from your employer, basically. When you're paid. It shows you how much you get paid. So what you've earned, right? Also shows you your deductions. What are the deductions? Those are things that are deducted. Those are things taken from your paycheck. So like taxes, for example, or maybe things that go towards employment insurance and things like that. Usually taxes, maybe. Also, if you're part of a union, you might have fees, things that come out of your paycheck as well. And then the final line shows what the difference, basically, shows the difference. It shows the whatever this word is. It shows the whatever amount, basically, the amount you, that goes in your pocket. The amount of money that goes in your pocket after all the deductions have been taken from your paycheck. It's gonna be the net. Exactly, the net amount. Net here. So I'm gonna put that in here. The net amount. And I think now we have some more information. I think we could probably do this one, this useful skill. We hear this one often, this word used often, talking about, you know, if you're writing your resume, for example, maybe you might talk about very useful skills that you have, useful skills, useful abilities. Useful or valuable skills that a person may have, or qualities as well. Skills or qualities. And we also use this word actually too in business. This word also gets used in business. Basically, valuable belongings that someone owns, basically. Maybe someone owns, or maybe an organization owns, or business owns. So sometimes we see that word as well being used this way too. But looking for a word that indicates something very valuable. Almost. For example, if you had a business, maybe you own your own building, for example. Maybe there are like, I don't know. I think what else might count. Anyways, valuable things, valuable skills. Here we're talking about assets, exactly. You have good qualities, you have nice assets. So an asset. Alright. An asset. Pop that in here. What this is. This here, this dominant, something dominant is sort of like the top, on top of everybody else, right? Something dominant is above, or almost like superior. To the things below it. And often, like this word here, the 6 across here, 6 across. They use it a lot when talking about pack animals. This word gets used a lot when talking about pack animals. Like wolves, for example. To say that one is more dominant over the other. That's, you know, to refer to the leader of the pack. Although apparently they've debunked this, that wolves actually don't have this sort of hierarchy. And it only happens when they are in captivity. Alpha is our word. Thank you. Thank you so much. Exactly. So the alpha male, the head of the pack, basically. See what else we got here. Russian rulers. Gosh, I don't know how I would describe this one. But basically, like a Russian, because they don't really have kings or anything, right? But a male Russian ruler. Male Russian rulers, basically. Tsars, exactly. Tsars with a Z sound, by the way. Tsar, sorry, Tsar. I don't even say it right. Tsar. Alright. Yes. Great, great, great. What is this? Frank. Dun, 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 dun. Pretentious. Pretentious. If you're pretentious, oops. If you're pretentious, you kind of think you are better than other people. Or you think that you are more refined, maybe? Refined or intelligent. Or, you know, just like better, I guess, basically. Maybe you think you have a higher status. You think others are lower than you. So, but I hate how they use this to describe the answer here. Because people might also find people that are very, like, that are, like, this word to be kind of, like, pretentious. But basically, someone who is maybe, like, very, like, creative and into, like, arts and culture and that sort of thing. So we're looking for sort of the name of a word, like a word to describe maybe somebody who's kind of like that. I don't know if we're gonna get this. Like, maybe. I feel like it's not gonna be like kind of like very interested in maybe arts and culture, maybe like history, and they might come across as being a little bit pretentious, maybe a little bit snobby. I don't know, we're gonna get this. They might also just have like they may also just have a lot of like artistic talent as well, maybe ability, that sort of thing. Usually, but they're really kind of like showy, you know. Maybe they like show off a lot. This is artsy. Artsy. Which I think is tricky because we could also say the word arty. They basically mean kind of the same thing, but we would say artsy, especially artsy fartsy. Something artsy fartsy. It's kind of a great one. Something artsy fartsy, very pretentious, pretentiously artistic, pretentiously showy. Anyway, moving on. A puppy cry, we're looking for the sound that a small dog might make, right? A puppy is a very young dog, right? So obviously in dogs bark, we're looking for a word to describe the bark of a puppy or a small dog. We might get this one as well. Maybe. Or maybe you can just have like a guess as to what this one is going to be. Maybe a second. But I feel like this one might also not be super super obvious. Like, maybe. There's so many different ways that we would describe the sound of a dog. You know, there's like the arf, right? For example. Or like yip. Or yapping. Yeah, so we're gonna stay with the group. We're gonna stay with me. This one here, 27 across. 27 across. So 27 across. Even if you have an idea. It does start with a Y, actually. This starts with a Y. I put a Y in here. So this one here, yap. They would yap, we might say. We could also use yap to refer to people speaking as well too. You know, quit your yapping, right? Quit your talking, right? Basically, like a very, very rude way to say, stop talking, basically. You know, they were yapping all night. And they were, you know, talking probably about nothing super exciting. Talking all night, basically. So we can also use yap that way as well. Let's see if we can do this one, actually. So, frank in this context does not mean a name. If you are frank, might also mean that you are extremely direct. This is a way of speaking. If you are frank, you speak very directly. So you say what it is. You don't hold back. You don't, what we say, sugarcoat anything, which basically means to make something sound less harsh than it really is. So none of that holding back here. And then we might say that you are P-L-A something, N, new word, S-P-A-E, sorry, E-A, something, I-N. G, you're a person that talks without any embellishments, any exaggerations. Plain speaking, exactly. So, plain as in super simple, no embellishments, nothing at all. Plain speaking. Let's pop that in here. Awesome, awesome. And yeah, this is Harvey. I guess we'll put Harvey in here. But I really need people to stay with me. So an insurance worker. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. But this is a person who calculates like the likeliness, like how likely something would happen. So I don't know if I know this word. I definitely didn't really know what this word is. But someone who calculates how likely something is to happen. Basically when developing an insurance policy to figure out how much to charge someone. I think that's basically what it is. Something like that. They do all the math. This person does math. All the math when it comes to figuring out insurance stuff. 6 down. 6 down. I don't really work and do much with insurance, so. So that's kind of interesting. Anyways, actuary. Yes. So, there's some tricky words in here today. So, actuary. Jesus. Okay, there you go. And this one here, supporters? Supporters vote. So you could either, so if you're pro, you might say this word. The opposite of nay if you are against something. I think nay is spelled like this or something like that. Opposite of nay. You're for something. You would say this. Kind of an alternative way to say yes, right? But if we are voting for something, we might typically yell out this word. And you might also typically yell out this word if you are against something as well, if you're doing some sort of like oral vote or something. Instead of nay. So that is 19 across. 19 across. It's gonna be a vowel. Yay! Yay! Exactly. And yay is the pronunciation of that word. Yay. Yay or nay. Even if it doesn't look like yay, because I know that it's weird, but that is the pronunciation of this word. So yay. Yay or nay. And then finally, insulting. If you insult somebody else, that means that you maybe make fun of them, say things that are offensive to them. For example, if you insult someone, you say things to them that are offensive or just like not nice, you make fun of them. And in extreme cases, if you are that way, we might say that you are whatever this word is. To be extremely unkind to someone. Maybe even repeatedly, maybe. Extremely unkind to someone, maybe like using like rude or offensive words, for example. So here we're talking about talking to somebody, but we can also use this word too to refer to physical violence as well, or just being really cruel to somebody emotionally, sort of thing. So 16 across. 16 across. If you are extremely mean to somebody, maybe saying lots of really terrible things to them, you might say that you are this word here. Maybe you just treat them really badly too. So if you are this, you treat someone extremely poorly or badly as well, we might say as well. So abusive, you will be abusive to somebody. If you abuse someone, you treat them extremely badly. And we could also use that too, just to refer to the language we use to speak to somebody with. So if you're extremely rude to them, yelling at them, name calling, all sorts of things, we might say that they are abusing. It is abusing. Yeah, so B was correct. I know, but we have to stay with me. So cause we can't do this. Oh, we almost got this right. I wonder what we messed up. We have a mistake, guys. This is regales. Hands, rinse, at ease. I wonder what it was. At ease. Anyways, we're pretty close. Was. Actuary, Harvey. Actuary. Did I mess something up? Like putting something in here. Anyways. Great job, everybody. I'm sure we would probably just have like a typo. Oh, yeah, I put like a, there we go. There we go. Plain speaking. Yeah, usually just get like a typo. Anyways, great job, everybody. Fantastic job, everybody. Thanks so much for your help. I really appreciate it. It was great to see some new people today. Really appreciate it. I love when people participate. It makes me really happy. I hope some of you guys learned something new today. We did have some tricky words in here. Some, even like a couple words that I didn't even really know. But, great job. We did get it done. So really appreciate it. I will be back next week at this same time for more crosswords. I am planning to do this on Wednesday, and I'm planning on doing this on Friday. So Wednesday and Friday next week, 1300 UTC, so the usual time, I will be logging on to do crosswords. So you're more than welcome to come back and join me for those crossword streams as well. I hope you guys have a really good weekend. As usual, if you are looking for some like lessons or anything like that, feel free to hit me up. Feel free to contact me. That's what that means. I am most available on Telegram. That is the best way to get a hold of me. But also email as well too. You can get a hold of me. I guess I should leave that information somewhere. Here we go. So email or Telegram. Those are the ways to get in touch with me. Oh, and again, if yeah, I will see you guys all next week. Hope you all have a good weekend. Thanks again for playing. And I will see you guys all next time. All right. Bye, everybody. Great job, everybody.